सो मार्केट में एक डायलॉग है, डॉन को समझना मुश्किल ही नहीं नामुमकिन भी है। तो आप हमें समझाइए ये क्या चल रहा है, वो क्या अचीव करना चाहते हैं, एंड व्हाई गो आफ्टर ईरान?
There are 2-3 things. First of all, I was discussing with Neelkanji before we started this, and there is a method to Trump's madness, and we both agreed that there is a method to the madness. We think that his actions are random, his actions are not random. He's trying to achieve something now. The thing is that what is he trying to achieve? So, 2-3 things, first of all. What does victory mean in this for various countries involved in the conflict? For Israel, victory would look like a regime change in Tehran. This is what Israel wants, a regime that would not look at Israel as the enemy, a regime that would stop funding Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Ansar Allah group. Ansar Allah are the Houthis that you know of in Yemen, and such groups, Kataib Hezbollah in Iraq, and such other groups. Also, no nuclear weapons, no ballistic missiles, etc. A benign regime, a democracy, that is what Israel wants. Essentially, regime change. If they are not convinced, Israel is happy to use violence. That is one. Now, what does the US want? I think it is more than oil. I think it is more than oil. It's also to deny China what China is trying to do. 3 years back, China brokered a deal, sir, between Saudi Arabia and Iran. And it collapsed. And Trump wants to take that away from China. He started off by cutting off Venezuela. 80 to 85% of Venezuela's oil was being bought by China. Now, it's not like that any longer. India has brought some 6 or 8 million barrels of oil from Venezuela. They've just started buying majorly from Venezuela. And now Iran. All this is happening. I think a larger geopolitical game is in progress. And the last factor here is Iran. Now, what does Iran want in this? Nobody estimated that Iran would start bombing Arab Muslim states. But they started bombing Arab Muslim states. Because the UAE had promised 1.5 trillion investment in the US. Qatar had promised, I think, 1.3 trillion investment, and Bahrain with 17 to 20 billion, and Oman with 12 billion or something like that. Figures, trillions of dollars of investment. Now they are unable to do in the United States. So there is an economic cost of war. Number 2, switching off both Strait of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb. 1.5 years back, Kotak had a series of lectures, and I remember
choke point.
You know, sir ne invite kara aur bola ki map pe batao. So we had discussed these choke points 1.5 years back. So we spoke about the Suez Canal, we spoke about the Panama Canal, Bab el-Mandeb, we spoke about the Malacca choke or the Malacca Strait as you know it, and we spoke about the Strait of Hormuz. Now, the Strait of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb are, one is semi-active and one is fully active. So I think that is what Iran is trying to achieve. If Iran does not fail, if Iran wins this war, according to what Iran thinks is victory, then you're going to have an extremely belligerent Iran, which is going to achieve 2 big things. Number 1, control of 30% of the world's energy flows, and therefore China. So Venezuela and Iran are connected that way. If Iran controls it, so will China. That is number 1. Number 2, the leadership of the Muslim world, which is with Saudi Arabia right now, because Mecca and Medina are in Saudi Arabia, they have oil, they have gas, they have everything. That will shift to Iran, because it is seen as the only power which has stood up against the combined might of the United States of America and Israel. So, sir, that is what is going on in a nutshell, according to me.